We've known for a while now that Jonathan Del Arco will reprise his iconic role of liberated Borg drone Hugh for Star Trek Picard. Today, we have brand new information related to his character and what he's been doing since we last saw him on screen.
Outstanding.
Hey everyone, I'm Commander Brie, and welcome to Trek Central. Today, we're talking more about Star Trek Picard, specifically all about the character of Hugh, and what he might be doing in the story so far. We're going to be diving into some brand new information that we've gathered to share with you today. As a pre-warning, this video will contain spoilers for Star Trek Picard Season 1, but specifically for the upcoming Episode 3 due next week. You've been warned. Originally announced back in 2019 at the San Diego Comic-Con, Jonathan Del Arco is reprising his role as the former Borg drone, Third of Five, or better known as Hugh. His character was originally found in the year 2368 by Captain Jean-Luc Picard and the crew of the Galaxy-class USS Enterprise D. Originally, the recovered drone was planned to be used as a weapon against the Borg Collective. If this plan had gone through, Hugh would have returned to the Collective and uploaded a computer virus that would have destroyed the inner workings of the Borg Collective. Though this plan never went through, with Starfleet admirals not being too happy as a result.
That if you have a similar opportunity in the future, an opportunity to destroy the Borg, you are under orders to take advantage of it.
The last we saw of Hugh was in the Next Generation episode Descent in 2370. Where Hugh had become the leader of a small group of disconnected Borg drones. Captain Jean-Luc Picard wished him luck in his future endeavors and installed the idea that the Borg drones had a good individual leader in the form of Hugh. We've actually done a full breakdown of the character of Hugh, so if you want to read his background story, head over to that video, which will be linked in the video's description. Fast forward to the year 2399, in which Star Trek Picard takes place. It appears that Hugh is now a very different person, having changed physically and mentally since we saw him last in Star Trek The Next Generation. Currently, Hugh is serving as the executive director of the Borg Reclamation Project. This information seems to suggest that Hugh is most likely overseeing the Borg cube that the Romulans are currently salvaging. This is the same Borg cube that Soji, sister of Daj, is working on. This Borg cube is also known as the Romulan Reclamation Site, which matches his job title. Following Episode 2 and what Narek said, the Borg cube has suffered a submatrix collapse and therefore is severed from its connection to the Borg Collective, who think of the Borg cube as a graveyard. How Hugh has come to be on this Borg cube, but also serve as its executive director for the Reclamation Project, is still a mystery to us, though we do expect to learn more about it in Episode 3 of Star Trek Picard. With that in mind, it's not hard to imagine that Hugh seeked to help more Borg drones. Therefore, if he found a damaged and disconnected Borg cube, it would make perfect sense for him to help them out. Though, why the Romulans are involved in this is still a complete mystery to us as of now. The next question comes down to power, and who's really in charge of this reclamation project. Thanks to a brand new clip from the Ready Room, we do see that Hugh is acting as his title suggests, a director overseeing this project. Through his control room, he can access cameras and scanners located throughout the inert Borg cube, so he certainly has some level of control here. Though I can't imagine the Romulans, or what's left of them, feel too pleased about taking orders from a liberated Borg drone aboard what they would classify as a salvage site. This makes me think that Hugh, being some sort of executive director, is actually a ploy by whoever's pulling the strings with the Romulans. They could just be allowing him and the other former Borg drones, which are nicknamed XBs, to feel like they're free, when in fact, they're just prisoners of the Romulans. Though, from what Soji says in Episode 2, that the Romulan Free State is the current owner of the Borg cube, it makes me believe that the Borg Reclamation Project is being run by Hugh and the Borg cube itself is owned by the Romulans. This would make sense, as it seems that the Borg cube is in Romulan space, so the Romulans can provide the technology and the protection, whereas the Borg Reclamation Project provides the researchers and the expertise. I think you'll agree with me, however, that there is something else going on with this Borg cube that we just don't know as of yet. Thanks to the previously mentioned clip, we do know that Hugh interacts with Dr. Soji Ashua, mainly as he's intrigued on how and why she can speak to a nameless Borg drone in its own language, while not knowing its actual species. Thanks to other images, we do know that Hugh will later meet with Jean-Luc Picard and help him in some way, possibly assisting him in securing Soji from the Romulan agents who are after her. Perhaps we'll even see Hugh versus Narek, or something of that sort. The information that we learned from the trailers is slowly falling into place, and with Episode 3 less than a week away, it's only a matter of time until we learn how it all plays out. Now, before we do end today's video, let's quickly talk about Hugh's new appearance in Star Trek Picard. When we last saw Hugh, he was still mostly Borg drone in appearance. His ocular implant was still mounted to his skull, while his body was covered with Borg body armor. Fast forwarding to 2399, Hugh is now less Borg and way more human in appearance. We can see from his face that the ocular implant has been removed, though in place is an artificial eye. Now around his eye, there are still minor Borg connection plates mounted to his face. This is likely a side effect of removing the components that were previously attached. You can even see some residual scarring on his face from where the implants used to be. Style-wise, Hugh has now adopted a more formal but smart look, which is very fitting for an executive director of a reclamation project. Whether his outfit is Romulan or Borg, we really don't know as of yet, though I hardly think a former Borg drone would know exactly what to do when it comes to fashion choices. Then again, it is a creepy Borg cube, so anything goes really. That's everything we've got on Hugh for today. Based on what the trailers show for the upcoming Episode 3 of Star Trek Picard, we'll see him on our screens and taking an active role in the plot development of the series. I personally have a soft spot in my heart for Hugh, so I'm super excited to see where he goes and how he's evolved as a character. If you like this video and you want to keep up to date with all things Star Trek news, lore, and more, then make sure to subscribe to Trek Central here on YouTube. You can also follow us on social media for daily updates, as well as visit our website for weekly articles. We're also rolling out a community Discord server, so come join the party ahead of the new series. For now, I've been Commander Brie, and thanks for watching Trek Central. I hope you guys enjoy the new series, and I'll of course see you all very soon.